Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine at home. Okay, students? Right. Shall we learn commerce today? Okay. Yesterday and the day before yesterday we have learned about the rights and duties of the consumers with regard to purchasing, okay, or selling. So consumers' rights and duties we have learned. Today we are going to learn about the responsibilities of consumers. Okay, what are the responsibilities a consumer has? These rights and responsibilities. These both are the two sides of the same coin. If the consumers have certain rights, they have some responsibilities also. They must follow them also. Okay, what are the responsibilities? The duties that some obligations that a customer has when he is purchasing some goods. Okay, we will learn one by one what are the the responsibilities he has. First, when we go to purchase, what is our main responsibility? We should pay the price of the commodity. Without paying the price, we cannot get the goods that we have purchased, isn't it? So that is the main responsibility. The consumer must pay the price of the goods. Okay. Then maybe it may be what is given in the label, the maximum retail price. We may not pay more than the retail price. That you should understand. So we must price what is given in the that price list, price tag. But we may not pay more than that one, maximum MRP. You might have seen, isn't it? MRP price, maximum retail price. So that is the highest price that a consumer has to pay. But the dealers or the wholesalers, retailers are allowed to sell less than that MRP price. Okay. So that is his first responsibility. Then next responsibility, he has to take the delivery of the goods. Once we pay the price, what we should do? We should get the goods. Okay, that is another responsibility. So we may not ask we have paid the price and we may not ask the seller to keep the goods for a long period of time in the same shop, in his location, selling location, because that we have once we have paid the price, that ownership transfers to the buyer. So we are responsible to take the goods, okay, to get the delivery. That is his second responsibility. Then it is related to the second point. If we make any delay in the delivery of the goods, and if any cause arise for the seller, that we must bear the loss. Who? The buyer. The buyer has to bear the loss that caused because of the late delivery. That means we did not take the goods that we have purchased after paying the price of the product. Okay, so we need to pay any damage caused for the seller. We have to pay for that one. Okay, if we make any delay in the delivery of the goods. Then if there cause any loss, we have to bear the loss that is there. And if any loss incurred for the or if we make any late delivery, and if it is a long delay delivery, then that we have to pay for the interest for the late delivery. Okay. If any loss incur for them, then he will ask for the interest also. If we have not paid within the specified time, within the stipulated time, then we have to pay interest for that amount also. That is also the responsibility of a customer, consumer. Okay. Then, when we use the product, the consumers must follow all the instructions given in the label, all the precautions. Some precautions will be given, isn't it? How to use. All must be followed when we use the product. Okay, that is our responsibility. Without following the that rules, the terms and conditions, or the precautionary measures, if we use the product, that may cause some damage, isn't it? So that is our main responsibility, consumers' responsibility to follow the rules and regulations of the product, or the terms and conditions applied for the product, for using the product. Then a customer or a consumer has the right to inform any his expectations, our suggestions related to the product. We can inform that one to the seller. Okay, so we have the responsibility to express our expectations and suggestions related to a product to the seller. Only then they can do some amendments, changes in the product. Okay, that any the creative thinking will be there. Okay, so for the sellers or the selling organization can make some changes in the product, or they can introduce some new methods, or they can change that some to introduce some innovations in the product. This will be useful. Okay, then the seventh point, we must find out all the details, the quality. That is our responsibility. Okay, quantity, whether it is correct. Okay, quality, quantity, and price, all the other things of the product before purchasing. So we must have one clear information about the quality. Already we have learned in the duties of the consumers. Okay, that one also may come here in the responsibilities. Okay. Then after purchasing, we must get the cash receipt. In the duties itself I have taught you, isn't it? So we must get the cash receipt. Here this is the proof that we have made a purchase from that shop. Okay, so we must get the cash receipt from the seller for the things that we have purchased. And if there is any guarantee or warranty for the product, we must get the warranty card. In that they have to mention the date and period of warranty. Date of purchasing. Okay, they have to mention when we have purchased and the period of warranty, whether it is for 1 year or 2 years. Okay, that will be mentioned in the warranty card. That must be got, and it must be kept safely. Okay, till the expiry of the warranty period. And in the warranty card, the seller must sign, and there must be the seal of the organization. So this is the very that great responsibility of a consumer. If there is that if we have paid cash, we should get a cash receipt, because this is the evidence if you want to make any complaint in the consumer court. So you have to get the cash receipt, and if there is any warranty card, that also must be got, but you have to check whether the card was signed by the that officer or that one who sells the product, and the seal of that selling organization, and it must be mentioned the date of the purchasing and the period of warranty. Okay, students. The next point, if there is any defect, or if we are not satisfied with the product, the customer must inform those defects and complaints to the seller. He must make a complaint regarding the defects and shortcomings of the product to the seller. That is also one responsibility. Okay, any defects there or any complaints related to the product, then he must complain this one to the seller. Okay, that is also his responsibility. If there is any defect, shortcomings, complaints about the product, he must make a complaint to the seller related to that product. Then the consumer has the responsibility that he must not satisfied with the low quality goods. Okay, he should watch whether any that standardized product ISI symbol is there, then otherwise AGMARK symbol is there if it is related to agricultural products. Okay, then food processing organization, okay, or any other standard quality certificate. Okay, standard quality certificate. So without these symbols, we should not prefer to buy those products. Okay, if there is ISI symbol, that seal, ISI seal, only then we should buy those products. That is the safe of the quality of the products. Okay, so we should check. That is also one of our responsibilities. Then related to the advertisements, if there is any false advertisement, nowadays we have almost all the advertisements are false, isn't it? And if we that any difference between the features that is stated in the advertisement and the practical features, that actual features available in the product after using it, if we find any difference, that difference must be informed to the seller. Okay, that is also one of our responsibility. What they are saying, some false advertisement, false features. So once we realize they are false, it is not true in regard to the product, then we must inform that one to the seller. Okay, then we have many rights, isn't it? Right to safety, right to be informed, then right to choose, then right to seek redressal. We have learned many rights. Then if any rights are violated, we have the responsibility to make a complaint. We should make a complaint under the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Okay, Consumer Protection Act 1986. That we will learn in the next lesson. Okay, how to make a complaint and act that in 3 level that act, that codes available. District level, state level and national level codes available. To whom to contact, how to make a complaint. Okay, all these we will learn in the next lesson. Now I will mark and give you the one word answers. The final aim of modern marketing is consumer satisfaction. Dash is the king of modern marketing. Consumer. As the consumer is having the rights, they are also having responsibilities. Which of the following is not a consumer right? Summed up by John Kennedy. Right to consume. Then, if it is the responsibility of a consumer that he must obtain dash as a proof for the purchase of goods, cash receipt. Here, okay, here it is correct only. See, in the fourth one, they have given the answer as A. Okay, right to safety, that is there. Right to consume only, not a right. Okay. Then very short answers. We have marked everything, isn't it? Short answers also we have marked. Long answers, the last one. What are the responsibilities of consumers? These responsibilities from here. Okay. From here, all the 12 points. Here you learn up to around 6-7 points. Okay. At least 6 points you learn thoroughly. Okay. Otherwise, you should read all the responsibilities. Okay. That is in page number 157. Okay. Students, we will learn the next lesson also, because it's very few time only we have spent, so the remaining time we will learn little of the next lesson. Okay, the next lesson is grievance redressal mechanism. Redressal mechanism. What is the redressal mechanism available in our country? Okay, if there is any grievance for the consumers, how can we redress that grievance? Okay, so we know this lesson number is 80. Okay, we will start the lesson. So we know the consumers are exploited in many ways, isn't it? And surely they must be protected against all these exploitations. So the government has enacted a law. So it has passed an act in the year 1986 that is called Consumer Protection Act. Okay, Consumer Protection Act 1986. In the year which 1986 it has came into force. We have studied already, isn't it? In the date 15th April 1987. Okay, it came into force. That means it was implemented from this date. Okay, now this act has started some councils. Okay, they have started some councils, because many consumers throughout the country, many consumers, they are not aware of their rights and their duties and their responsibilities. So it is the responsibility of our Indian government to make awareness among the consumers about their rights, their duties and their responsibilities. So it has realized its duty, the government's duty, to make awareness among the consumers, among all the citizens, about all the products, how they can be exploited, how they can recover from that, how to whom they have to make the complaint. Regarding all these details, so they have started some councils. Okay, the consumer councils. These councils are at district levels. District levels, then state levels and national levels. Okay, this act has opened many district level councils, then state level councils, then one council as the national council. So we can say it is 3-tier court, that court, district courts. 3-tier. First one district level, then next one state level and national level forum. Then first one we can say it as district forum. we will learn what it is. How to make a complaint and all. In the end of the lesson, we will learn. Okay, students. So, first we will learn about the district forum. Here, the district forum is established. The district forum will be established by the state government. Who will establish this district forum? The state government. It was explained in the section 9 of Consumer Protection Act. Consumer Protection Act 1986. So as per this section, the district forum is established by the state government in each district. Okay, not the national council or the act itself or the central government will not establish, but in each district, this district forum is established by the state government. It can establish at least one or more than one, two or two. Okay, it can establish more than one or two courts, district forum. That is, district court is called district forum. Understand? If it thinks no, so if it is that district is a very large one, it can appoint to court. Okay, district forum. Minimum one forum must be there. Okay, for each district. Here, who will make the complaint? That is the next one. Okay, who can file a complaint? The consumer. Usually the consumer only. But not only the consumer. If the central government thinks it can file a complaint, or the state government, or any group of consumers also can make a complaint. Okay, either central government or state government or a group of consumers can make a complaint. So, it doesn't matter that the consumer only can make the complaint. Other people can also make a complaint. Okay, we can say someone, we do not need to go to the court to make a complaint. Some voluntary groups will be available. Okay, that's why we have learned group of consumers or a voluntary organization or anybody can make a complaint, not the affected consumer. But the evidence must be there, that must be provided. But anybody can make a complaint in the district forum. Understand? Then, who are the members in the district forum? Who will be the members in the district? Here, one person. Here, the totally 3 members. Okay, 3 members. One member will be the district judge. Okay, the judge of the court. That is, he is called the district judge. District judge, he is the president of the district forum. Okay, one person is the district judge and he is the president of the district forum. Then, the next point, we need 2 more members. Isn't it? These 2 members must have the ability. Any person who is not able to talk, we cannot, isn't it? So they should have the ability, integrity and standing. Okay, these people, and they must have enough knowledge and experience related to any problems. And they must have the knowledge of any of the following subjects, maybe the law or accounting. So we too can become a member, isn't it? Law, accountancy, or public affair, administration, industry. Under any heading, he must have some knowledge and experience. Okay, these people can become the two members. Here, one member among the two member, one member must be a woman. So among the three members, one member must be a woman. Okay. Now, next heading, jurisdiction. So, what are the complaints it can? What are the amount of the complaint that it can take and it can argue in the court? Okay. So, the district forum can accept the complaint. It's that value of goods and services must be less than 20 lakhs. The value of goods and services and the compensation together. Okay. Goods and service and the compensation. If we make a complaint, what we will do? We will state the value of the goods and service, and we might have caused some damage because of the goods, isn't it? So that one also we will ask as compensation. So together the value of goods and service and the compensation that we ask should not be more than 20 lakhs. It must be less than 20 lakhs. That type of complaints can be accepted in the district forum. Okay. Now the powers of the district forum. What are the powers given to this district forum? Okay. Here all the proceedings, arguing in the court. These proceedings are like the proceedings in the civil court only. Civil court what? Not criminal court, civil court. Okay, the proceedings will be like the proceedings of the civil court, and our IPC, isn't it? Indian Penal Code. IPC we say, isn't it? Section 193 and 128. Between 193 and 228. From section 193 and 228, that civil court proceedings will be there. It will be like the proceedings of the Indian Penal Code. Okay. So that section only will be applicable for the proceedings in this district forum. And what are the other rights or powers that they have? What they can do? They can, if the value of the goods and service and the compensation exceeds 20 lakhs, it can recommend that complaint to the state council. They can direct them to the state council. All the problems, all the complaints, that value of that complaint is less than 20 lakhs only will be that accepted in the district forum. If that value increases more than 20 lakhs, it will be transferred to, it will be given to the state council. Okay. Then again, district forum has the right, has the power to take action against the seller. Okay, they can ask them either to pay the compensation, okay, or they can take any legal action, or to stop the sale of their product. Okay, so the district forum has the right to take legal actions against the seller, or to get the compensation from the seller to the affected consumer. Okay. This district forum we have learned fully. So in the next lesson, we will learn the State Council and National Council. Okay, students, thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, okay, through the phone. Then here, I think we can make some that mark and key, okay. Some question answers. What do you mean by redressal mechanism? It is in this page 161. Okay. Consumers are exploited by the sellers in many ways. Government has taken necessary steps to save the consumers. So, this line also. It is in this context grievance redressal mechanism becomes very important. Okay. What is a term district forum? (162) District forum. Here, as per the Consumer Protection Act, this from here, that first paragraph fully. Okay, students, that district forum. Is consumer protection necessary? 3 mark question. 161. So you can mark from here. Okay. Consumer is supposed to be king. Business from there till the end of that paragraph. So consumer protection is necessary. You write like this. Okay. Okay, that district level they have not asked for the long answer. Yeah, here it is. Explain the term district forum and explain the functions of district forum. 162. District forum fully we have to mark. Okay. Right, under members you write jurisdiction, then power also you can write it little. Okay, that you mark on 4 mark question also. Okay, functions of district forum, everything you have to write. Okay, one point. If you learn this district forum, it will be easy for you to learn the state council and national council, because the members, powers, everything will be in the same heading only. Little difference will be there. Okay, students, you learn very well. Thank you, students.